So you've been playing Rocket League for a long time now. You climbed the ladder up to Diamond or maybe even Champion, and now you're starting to think that you might have what it takes to go pro. But you just don't know what to do next. If you listen to a current pro share their story, they're likely to tell you about their unique experience and how the timings and opportunities just seem to work out.
Just lucky, I guess.
They may also give you some generic advice like, you just need to play more, watch some replays of high-level gameplay, or play custom training packs. If you think that sounds a little too straightforward, then you're onto something. I've always felt like they were withholding information, and after a little investigation, I found out what they've been hiding from us, and today, I'm going to expose the truth. These are the 5 things required to be a pro in Rocket League. When it comes to our first entry, I hesitate to even put this on the list, because it's by far the least important thing. But I feel obligated to include this since it is technically required. So you have to, and please listen closely, be good at Rocket League. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to get good at Rocket League in this video, but I will link a playlist at the end when you're ready to get learned. Instead, I'm going to tell you about the phases you'll experience once you start to get good. You'll enter the first phase once you make it to Grand Champion. Welcome to the club. You are now a member of the elite community playing at the highest rank. You've also achieved something that less than 2% of the player base will ever achieve. So go ahead, share your success on Twitter or Reddit. You earned it, buddy. Eventually, you'll make it into the high MMR Grand Champion phase. You'll know you've entered this phase when you think it's cute when a friend shares that they hit Grand Champion for the first time, which of course means they're still bad. These next few phases happen pretty quickly. You'll know you've entered these phases when you start getting put into ranked matchups with or against pro players. Eventually you'll win a few against them, and you'll start to believe you can actually achieve the dream. However, once you get a taste of what it's like to play at the pro level, ranked queues just won't be enough anymore. You'll need to move on to RL 6-mans. There, you can get sweaty with other people in the same position as you, and maybe even put together a team so you can enter the final phase of getting good. Entering a team into the Rival Series play-in open bracket. There's a high probability of disappointment and defeat here, but if you defy the odds and win the tournament, just remember, this is only number 5 on the list. The next thing on our list is something you may have noticed all the top pros have. Alpha Boost. Your first thought may be, why don't they just trade it or sell it? They could make thousands. Well, that's not really an option because the pros know that winning games doesn't mean anything if you don't look good while you're doing it. That's why number 4 on our list is a good-looking car. As the saying goes, if you look good, you play good. If you play good, they pay good. This may sound subjective, but I'm gonna tell you why it isn't. A standard has been set in Rocket League for what a pro car looks like. The easiest piece to recognize is the Gold Rush boost. This boost was released with a set of limited rewards for alpha testers, so it's not gonna be accessible to everyone. But the good news is that some players have joined the pro scene without alpha boost by following these guidelines. No pro team decals. How many times have you seen Tom Brady show up to a game wearing a New York Giants jersey? Never. You don't wear other teams' jerseys. It was fine early on because you were a fan supporting your team, but now you're a competitor, so you can't go around wearing the competition's decals. You have to earn that decal by making the team. As far as wheels go, you're rather limited. You can only use Cristiano's, black painted wheels, or white Zambas. These wheels have a slick yet simple look, and they can fit into any color scheme. And they also don't have any of those weird flashing or bulbous distractions. Goal explosions must be standard or black market. This means no seasonal rewards, no rocket pass items, and absolutely no dabbing ghosts. Well, you can try to get the dabbing ghost over all you want, but you'll always be confused why sponsors aren't quite willing to finalize any contracts with you. Finally, never use a topper or antenna. The early pros that wore construction worker helmets, giant foam hats, or flew the Jolly Roger are no longer playing at the top level of the pro scene. So if you follow these fashion guidelines, then no matter how good or bad you may be, it'll only be a matter of time before we start to see you in the Rival Series. If you don't, then we may never even get to know your name. The first two entries on our list so far have been about your skill and fashion, but this one is a little more related to your personal conduct and sportsmanship. Now, if you've ever played organized sports, then you may be familiar with celebrating great plays with your teammates, or lining up to shake hands with your opponents and tell them good game. This is terrible. You should never display sportsmanship outside of your pro circles.
Dwight, I was open. All right, let's go.
You definitely can't compliment a nice shot or a great pass from a stranger in an online match. Scoring that goal or making that pass was the expectation, and giving kudos to your team for doing their job is for people who play the game for fun. And you better not be staying in the lobby long enough to say good game. Win or lose, as soon as the game ends, you need to be the first person out of the lobby. If your team won, then you need to let everybody know that you are in fact a badass and the post-match stats and pleasantries are beneath you. If your team lost, then you must also leave immediately to passive-aggressively show your teammates that they were the reason you lost, while also showing your opponents that they don't deserve the praise for beating you because your teammates cost you that win. And remember, if you're using Bacchus Mod to give yourself client-side alpha boost, then you'll want to navigate to the Ranked tab and find this option, which automatically says GG after every game. Make sure this is unchecked to avoid any accidents. For number 2, we're not going to waste any time. You must use competition comms. The key to competition comms is to always use a disinterested tone while speaking in sentence fragments. There isn't time for full sentences here, so only pass minimal information to maximize response times. Also, I haven't been able to find any real scientific reason why competition comms always ends with an upward inflection, but all of the pros do it, so you probably should too.
Locked him.
Got it?
Keep it in. You're
Over me,
alone.
over me. It's in.
No.
Yep.
He's up.
Locked him. Alres.
I got
Touching?
back right.
Around him.
He's up.
Up. He missed.
Oh yeah.
Alright, go.
Oh yeah, still
Good time. He's up.
Wonders there. Go
Let
ahead.
me go.
Nice. Mid.
Zero.
One.
That's it. He's up, he's up, he's up.
Dunked him. Turbo left
Yeah, I
side.
got it.
And with that, we finally arrived at the last thing required to be a pro in Rocket League. You have to ingrain your association with Rocket League into your day-to-day life. Everyone knows you can't go out this weekend because you've got scrimmages scheduled with your virtual car soccer team. Your coworkers will think that you spend too much time playing video games. Psych! You don't have coworkers because you quit your job to pursue Rocket League full-time. All of your closest friends play Rocket League, and they only know your username, even though you meet up at RLCS every 6 months.
Fellas, what's this guy's name again?
I don't know. Is it Shadow or Garth? It's something weird.
My name is Nick.
Hey, listen, man, you can't take it personally.
You call me man? I just said my name just now. Did you forget it already?
No. Sport.
And that concludes the 5 things required to be a pro in Rocket League. What do you think it takes? Let me know in the comments, and if you have some good points, then maybe you and me, maybe we get together, we start a team, we go big. What do you think? Chris, do you mind taking out the trash when you get a second? Thanks, man. Hey, come here. Call me All-Star real quick for the video. No, that's dumb. I'm not gonna do that. Thanks for getting the trash, though. What a jerk.